Have you ever wondered why smart people sometimes make dumb decisions together? It's a question that has puzzled psychologists for years, and the answer lies in a concept known as groupthink. Groupthink is a psychological phenomenon that occurs when the desire for group harmony overrides a realistic appraisal of alternatives. It's like a mental mirage that distorts the reality of collective decision-making, leading even the brightest minds down the path of irrationality. Consider Mensa, a society that boasts members with high IQs. Individually, these people are remarkably intelligent, capable of solving complex problems and making smart decisions. However, when they come together as a group, the decisions they make may not always reflect this collective wisdom. This paradox, this divergence between individual intelligence and group decisions, is a classic example of groupthink. So, how does this happen? Let's dive into the mechanics of groupthink. To understand groupthink, we need to explore the dynamics of a group decision-making process. At its core, groupthink is a psychological phenomenon where people within a group strive for harmony over conflict. Sounds good on the surface, right? But here's the catch. This harmony often comes at the expense of critical thinking and can lead to irrational or dysfunctional decision-making. One of the key contributors to groupthink is the pressure to conform. This pressure can manifest itself in various ways, from subtle peer pressure to outright intimidation. In a group setting, people often feel a strong desire to fit in, to not rock the boat, and this can lead them to suppress their own doubts and concerns. Another factor is the illusion of invulnerability. This is where the group starts to believe that their collective intelligence makes them invincible, that they can't possibly make a bad decision. This sense of invulnerability can lead to overconfidence and risky decision-making. Then comes rationalization. In a groupthink scenario, group members often downplay or outright ignore any potential negative consequences of their decisions. They justify their choices, convincing themselves that everything will work out just fine. And lastly, their self-censorship. This is where individuals, in the interest of group harmony, decide not to voice their dissenting opinions or concerns. They essentially silence themselves, further fueling the groupthink phenomenon. To illustrate, let's look at the Bay of Pigs invasion, a decision by the Kennedy administration that is widely regarded as a classic example of groupthink. There was immense pressure to conform, a strong illusion of invulnerability, rampant rationalization, and a good deal of self-censorship. The result? A failed invasion that led to international embarrassment and a significant blow to the United States' reputation. Clearly, groupthink can lead to disastrous decisions, but how can we prevent it? Groupthink, as we've seen, can lead to poor decision-making, but there are ways to mitigate it. When groupthink takes hold, it's like a fog that clouds the collective intelligence of a group. The diversity of thought, the clash of different perspectives, the spark of creativity, all these vital elements of decision-making are stifled. Instead, the group falls into a dangerous conformity, where the desire for harmony overrides the necessity to evaluate alternatives critically. This perilous path can lead to disastrous results. Take, for instance, the Challenger space shuttle disaster. A group of highly intelligent individuals working together fell victim to groupthink. The pressure to maintain consensus led to the dismissal of critical information that could have prevented the tragedy. The result was a catastrophic failure that cost 7 astronauts their lives. So, how can we prevent groupthink? Firstly, by encouraging diversity of thought. It's crucial to create an environment where different perspectives are not only welcomed, but actively sought. This diversity acts as a safeguard against the tunnel vision that groupthink can create. Promoting open dialogue is also key. A culture where people feel safe to voice their opinions, even if they go against the grain, is essential. This open dialogue allows for a thorough examination of all available options and prevents the premature convergence on a single idea. Lastly, the role of leadership cannot be understated. A strong leader fosters a culture of critical thinking. They challenge assumptions, ask probing questions, and ensure that every voice is heard. This creates a climate where groupthink is less likely to take root. The prevention of groupthink isn't about stifling consensus or promoting conflict. It's about ensuring that decision-making is robust, comprehensive, and inclusive. It's about making sure that the combined intelligence of a group is harnessed effectively, rather than being dampened by the constraints of conformity. Groupthink can be avoided, and it starts with awareness and a commitment to fostering an open and inclusive decision-making environment. As we wrap up our discussion on groupthink, it's vital to grasp its impact and learn how to avert it. Throughout our journey, we've delved into the paradox of collective intelligence, unraveled the mechanics of groupthink, and explored its effects and prevention methods. Groupthink, as we discussed, is a psychological phenomenon where the desire for harmony in a group leads to irrational or dysfunctional decision-making. It's when the fear of rocking the boat overrides the need to consider alternative perspectives and solutions. This often results in the suppression of dissenting views and the promotion of conformity over critical thinking. We also delved into why groupthink happens. It's often due to a combination of factors such as high group cohesion, insulation of the group, lack of methodical procedures, directive leadership, and high stress with low self-esteem. These factors create a breeding ground for groupthink, often leading smart people to make dumb decisions together. The impact of groupthink can be catastrophic. It can lead to poor decision-making, stifling of creativity and innovation, and even tragic outcomes in extreme cases. But there's a silver lining. We can prevent groupthink. Encouraging open dialogue, fostering an environment where differing opinions are valued, and promoting critical thinking are just a few ways to combat groupthink. Reiterating the importance of critical thinking and diversity of thought in decision-making is paramount. These are the shields that protect us from the pitfalls of groupthink. Fostering an environment where every voice is heard, every idea is considered, and every decision is critically examined ensures that we harness the true power of collective intelligence. Remember, the power of a group lies not in conformity, but in the diversity of its ideas. So, let's encourage free thought and avoid the trap of groupthink. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Brain Secrets for more insightful content. Until next time, keep those neurons firing.